Heyo Peeperoonies, we are past 3 weeks into Art Fight, and we only have 1 week left. So happy with this year so far. Before I get into my recap, let me tell anyone who is new here what is happening. Art Fight is an art gifting and trading game held all through the month of July every year. I like to recap my progress on Art Fight every year, so if that's something that interests you, perhaps you should stick around and maybe subscribe, because I also make art content and yap about my characters. But back to the recap. Like I said, this is for week 3, so just the 15th to the 21st. The order of this video will be the really cool art that I got from my defenses, the art that I made, plus my thoughts while making it and other things, because I do tend to ramble sometimes. And lastly, I'll close the video out with my recap as to how things are going so far. And with that, let's get to the amazing art that I got. I will try and have up on the screen the name of the artist, if it was a Revenge or a Friendly Fire, but I will also try and put the team as well. I just want to say though that I sometimes do make mistakes. Like in last video, I marked someone who's on Team Tragedy as a Team Mystery. It does happen and I'm super sorry about that. If I do that to you and you see the mistake in my video, just comment about it and I will add a correction in my description next to your profile link, because I do link everyone who I mentioned in the video down in the description so you can find them uber easy, super fast. And back to the art. On the 15th, I got some really cool stuff. I got 3 attacks. This first one was of my OC Taylu. They attacked me as a little thank you for helping them with some brush settings on Procreate, and it's just so cute. I'm gonna have to draw Taylu in this outfit soon. Next 2 are really cool. First we have this Veracity or Eric, both honestly, artwork, and it's just really awesome. Just look at this composition. And we also have some really cute Silver Bell art. It's just so soft looking. Day 16, I got another 3 attacks. First 2 were of Quincy and Turkey. It's Turkey in her human form. The Quincy one is so epic looking. The pose, the light, it just eats. Gorgeous, scrumptious, amazing. Turkey is also looking so cute. I can't get over how adorable it is. And wrapping up the day, I got an attack on Umeko, whom is Umika, and I just love Umika. But I can't even get this person back because they don't have any characters up. They just say in their bio that they're here for a fight and not to be attacked, which, rip. Sucks for me. Okay, day 17, I got 2 more attacks. First was this super cute ship art of Clover and Ulf in their anthro forms. So freaking cute. And the second attack from that day was of Blanca. This is so adorable, so cute. Look at her. She is definitely being spoiled this year, guys. 2 more for day 18. First was this really cutie pie Silver Bell. Just, oh my, so cute. Next was my OC Catmint bonding with their OC Blueberry, whom I do just adore. Love Blueberry, bro. I can't even lie. Nothing for day 19, but that's probably because everyone was planning to jump me on day 20. Well, actually, there was one attack that happened on day 19, but it was a mass attack, and I do plan to show all the mass attacks that I got that weren't like just my OCs or mostly my OCs in the final recap. So you'll have to come back next week to see that one, or you can just look on Art Fight, either or. But yes, I was jumped on the 20th. I got 3 more attacks, plus I was the target for a mass attack, but only one of my OCs was included in that, so I will save that one for the final recap, but just know it is epic. The first 2 artworks were one of Morana. Just love her, bro. Look at this. It's so cute, so adorable. And this artwork of Cherries. Just look how sweet she looks. This is her human form, by the way. Just adorable. And to finish off the day, I got this really epic artwork of my detective crew, the OCs from my detective story that I talked about in a previous video. We have Ramsey and Winifred in the front. They seem to be doing some detective work. Plus we have Bonnie sort of looming in the background, and it looks so sick. Alright, day 21, the final day for this recap of all the art I got. I got this really cute Silver Bell drawing of her showing off her little wooling named Cotton. He seems to have gotten first place, and he's just so cute. Oh, this is adorable. Thank you to everyone who has drawn my OCs. Really, you have no clue how much I cherish each and every drawing that I get. Thank you guys so much. Okay, the art that I made. Let's lock in. So I decided to also start doing some sketch attacks, clean sketches, as some warm-ups and in between some of my larger projects that I'm working on at the moment. On day 15, I did 2 of these. First was this really pretty mermaid-like lady. She's really pretty. Just so pretty. Look at her. Second was a Tabaxi character, which are like these little cat goobers from D&D. I adore them. I don't know much about D&D, but I do adore tabaxis. Their name is Bizarre Gift, which I did find as a fun name. That is a fun name. Moving on to day 16, I did two more of these sketch attacks. We had this portrait of this character named Laura. I couldn't think of a half body or even a full body pose for her, so I opted to do a little bit of shading to compensate because I do feel bad doing sketch attacks. Now, I did get permission to do these. I don't ever do sketch attacks for randoms just because I do want to put my best foot forward normally. So, everyone who got a sketch attack had asked for one or gave me permission to, just as a heads up. Next sketch was of this little dog goober named Q. They are just so cute, and I knew that they were the character I needed to draw first time I even saw them. Just adorable. I didn't just do sketches on day 16, I did some proper revenges as well. First was for a Silver Bell drawing that I got. I drew the person's character named Julian. He is a very pretty guy. Also, I played around with a slight glowing effect to the little crystals on him. Overall, I'm like super happy with this drawing. It's so good. I'm like really happy with it. Next revenge was for one that was of a Liberty drawing that I got. And I knew that I needed to draw their character that had really long hair because they drew my OC that has really long hair. This is Hebe. Really adore Hebe's design. And I'm really happy with how this one came out. The pose is just, I think it worked out amazing. I skipped day 17. Whoops. I think I was working on something else. I don't remember. But on day 18, I got back into it with some sketch attacks. This one was of a character named Blueberry, whom I did mention earlier in the attack with Catmint. I just adore them, oh my goodness. And if I do have time, I hope to return and do a proper attack on Blueberry, just because I do adore Blueberry so much. I also got a couple revenges done on this day. First one of those was for a sepia pixel art that I got. I saw that they also had Star Trek OCs, so I had to pick one of those, and I got to work, and then I saw that their character had connections, and so I just couldn't resist drawing them with this other character named Reagan. It turned out so cute, I think. Next and last one for that day was a revenge for the Lauderdale drawing I got near the beginning of the month. Yikes, I'm pretty far behind. I decided to draw their OC Yaga. She is so pretty, and I had so much fun drawing her. Day 19, let's go! First was another revenge, and actually I did most of this on day 18, I'm gonna be honest, but it did turn into the 19th before I finished, so I guess it's a day 19 attack. They had given me an animated GIF of my OC Catmint, so I decided to give them a proper animated GIF as well. I wanted to try out tweening. Now, I have tweened before, for quite a few other projects, but nothing to this degree or this ambitious. It was really fun, and there are some spots that I feel like I could have done better, but overall, I think it turned out pretty darn good. I did two more attacks on day 19, both of them being revenges. This first one was this little sheep character named Juniper, and I decided to make a pattern for the dress, which took me 2 hours to figure out how to make just because I was struggling and I was messing up every single time, but I know why I was messing up now, so it probably won't happen again. But it was so much fun when I finally got it to work, so I ended up putting the pattern in the background as well because I did spend a good amount of time on that, so I'm gonna use it. The next revenge was of this tabaxi. They had some like chainmail on, so I wanted to make sure that I made it look like they had chainmail on while also not adding too much detail in the line work because I just prefer a nice clean look. I ended up adding a little bit of shine, and I also accentuated a couple of the links just to give it more texture to allude to the whole garment being made of that material, and I'm really proud of how it came out. On day 20, I did one revenge. This was for yet another Silver Bell drawing, so you just knew I had to draw another glider character. This little cutie was super fun, and I've been having so much fun as well, seeing how far I can push the poses for these. It's also been really good practice. It's making me feel more fluid with my art. I've been really enjoying it. I've also been playing around with methods on how to speed up my lining and coloring and finishing process even more, which I feel this is the start of that success. It's turning out great, guys, and I will for sure share my progress at a later date. On day 21, the final day of week 3, I did a whopping 4 attacks. So exciting. I feel really productive right now. The first was a sketch attack on my friend. I had just finished the day prior their early birthday gift, which was this new character named Scallop. They're also a glider. So I decided to do a doodle of Scallop with my glider, Silverbell, and they are best friends. Little lore drop. Silverbell was exploring the ocean and met Scallop, and now they're buddies. Scallop is massive compared to Silverbell, though. It's kind of funny. Then I turned my focus onto revenges. First, I had to get my mutual jitter back for the art of my detective OCs that I showed you earlier. I really wanted to push what I could do with my coloring style, because, I'm experimenting a little bit, so I rendered it, and I didn't do a proper line art like I usually do. I still added the darker lines for line art later, but I more so worked backwards. I did the rendering, and then I did the lines around it. And I think it gave it a really soft, almost painterly look, which was so nice. Also, it was the first time I experimented with potentially a faster method to do eyes, because again, you know me, I like to speed line the process as much as I can. All these new things that I'm learning are going to be so helpful for me making my comic work go way faster, because it cuts down on the finishing time. It basically, I do all of the shadows and everything on one layer now. It makes it so much faster, guys. I'm not even joking you. Next revenge was for another glider. This guy had a bunch of tails, which I thought was really cool. And I had a lot of fun trying to pose them in a way that worked with this fun and dynamic pose as well. It was a little hard, but I played around with it and it looked good. Also, it's kind of hard to see, but I also messed around with how I did the shading and lighting on this one to try and allude to a more fluffy look. Again, it's hard to see because it's a dark furred character, but it is there, and I think it looked pretty cute. I wrapped up the last day with one more revenge. This one was for some Blanca art that I got last week. I did a similar method that I used for the strawberry jitter jatter attack, only because it's a headshot, I was able to focus more on some smaller details, and it's a little bit more difficult when it's a broader area that I've got to do, but yeah. If you couldn't tell, for Art Fight, I actually use a smaller canvas than I normally would. I typically use a 2500 by 2500 pixel, but for Art Fight, I actually use a 1500 by 1500. This smaller canvas makes me able to do the art a bit faster. I'm not quite sure how to explain why. The best answer I have is because I don't change my brush size very much. For my round hard brush, I do change it. For my other brushes though, I don't change the size. So the only thing I can think is that it's because the work area is being filled up faster. My line art is thicker, so I don't have to spend as long making sure it's perfect. That's the best explanation I have for why it goes faster. This attack came out really good though, and I'm really proud of it. Okay, now my recap. So how is my goal going? Well, I have in fact reached the 45 out of 50 mark. Now, I was only at 44 when the week ended, I believe, so I was at 43. But I am at 45 now as of recording this video, out of 50, with a whole week left. So I would say pretty good on that front. I do feel like this may be the first year that I'm unable to get everyone back, well, minus the people that attacked me the final day. Because, sorry, you're just going to have to wait till another year for me to get back to you, because I typically don't do any attacks on the last day. And I currently have a 10 attack gap between my defenses and attacks. It's been quite hard just maintaining that, and I guess I'm a victim of my own success, I suppose. I am really thankful for all the art I get, and I do try to make sure that I comment a really nice and thought out comment to each one. But, yeah, I'm so sorry. I do want to be able to get everybody back. It's just not looking like it's a possibility anymore. But there is still about a week left, and attacks do seem to be winding down for me a little bit, so there is still a chance that I can catch up. Okay, now, for the character with the most attacks, we have, drumroll, a three-way tie. Blanca, Pinky Bug, and Silverbell are all tied at 4 attacks each now, which, what does that tell me? The people seem to really like pink and bows. This is what I have gathered so far. Now, that could change. I have a couple that are just a attack or two away from taking them over in the lead, so we'll have to wait till the final tally next week for the final results. Overall, I'm feeling really good so far. I do feel like next year I will change up how I do videos, particularly my OC yapping kind. I feel like I've spent way more time editing than anything else, plus all my health issues that I have has made me feel really unproductive, and I do yearn for the days when I would just draw and not post content. But let's be real, those videos do give me an outlet to express and talk about what I am passionate about, so I probably won't stop them completely. I'll tell you what I come up with for next year's video plan in the final recap. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to support me, you can become a Patreon or Ko-fi member. That will get your name at the end of my videos and a special role in my Discord that gets you access to exclusive commission deals and pre-claims for my adopts. And on the higher tiers, you also get art rewards. If you can't support me monetarily, that's okay. You can support me just by letting me know that you like the video. You can do that by leaving a comment telling me about what you have been working on for the past week and liking the video. Also by subscribing. Make sure to turn on notifications to know the next time that I post a video, which will hopefully be sooner rather than later. And until then, bye-bye!